Peace, love and harmony, family. I am infinite abundance, exponentially healthy, wealthy, with the highest potentials for life infinitely. And what are we doing right now? Raising those frequencies. And what else? Raising those vibrations. Take that, take that. Take that good ass energy I'm sending and sprinkling all over you right now. You better get it. And what are we going to do? Breathe in this good ass prana that is conscious with all. Let's go. Oh yeah, free to be. Beautiful, authentic, unapologetically. One more time. Deep down from the base of those spines. Yeah, deep down from the base of those spines. And light up each and every one of those chakras as they are in beautiful alignment with the ethers, bringing beautiful manifestations for our life. Just as a rainbow shows up in the sky. Let's go. Make it deep, make it beautiful. Let's go. Feels so good to be in the land of the living with praises and thanksgiving. Can I get a hello? Hello, 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 there. Hello, 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 hello there on this brand new day. Seems like I just spoke to you just a couple minutes ago, and here we are again. Yep, time is moving fast, and you don't want to be the one get caught in time and be last. Ooh, that's a nice rhyme. Nevertheless, today let's talk about why personal growth expands us consciously now. You know, and you might say, well, what do you mean by personal growth expands us consciously? It is, for me, it was about not doing what everybody else was doing, but really creating what I love and using or creating a better way to sustain my life and expand myself consciously. And the nice thing about expanding yourself consciously is you get to take things that were somewhat working, but make it better for yourself holistically now. Make it better for the air, make it better for the water, make it better for the land. You know, make it better for your life in general, because we can't thrive without the earth, and if we destroy the earth, then we have to find ways to survive on the earth. And we see how surviving make things really devastating, and she wasn't having that at all. So she decided, hey, her way was always the best way, you know. And because I live in my truth and my innate state, I have witnessed a lot of like-minded souls like myself expanded their consciousness now. Like I give you an example. A couple of months ago, I witnessed where a man was talking about refrigeration and having a fridge inside his house that is not operating with electricity or a battery. You know, the things that make, not electricity that make things, the things that make these things toxic for our health, and when we fall asleep, we breathe in these things in our house while we are asleep. You know, And he did some research on how the ancients and them used to preserve their foods now and keep it stored for long periods of time. And recreated something similar to it, but was more modernly used now. And he showed a video where they used to dig holes in the ground and bury it with bury their food, not bury, and so that they could go down into the ground to store their food now. And they would put herbs and things to keep certain insects and rodents and stuff away from tampering with their food. And he had the brilliant idea of instead of putting a standing fridge in his house, he created a fridge like a basement where it was about 10 feet deep in the ground in the kitchen, but it had access. It had a doorway like built onto the wall like a fridge to open up and a staircase to go down. And he had shelves in it, and it was made in such a way to bury into the ground. It was made out of either metal or aluminum, and he buried it into the ground and built it back into the house like a fridge. So they would put their food down in there, and it will actually keep the food in storage for weeks and months, and they will have their food to use whenever they need it. And he didn't have to put any herbs and things because it was concealed in metal. And he showed you when you went down there how cold it was. Even when the place got hot, it was maintaining the coolness in there. Because they're not continuously opening it to get anything, but it kept the temperature cool in there. And if you have a plant-based person like myself, you wouldn't have to store meats in there, so you didn't need meat to freeze. You just needed the food to be at a cool temperature that it don't spoil now. After a while, things like sweet potato and things, they start to get little eyes and things, but you could always take that and plant it in the ground and get more sweet potatoes and all these different things. Sweet potato is one of my favorite foods, right? And it is because of things like this, harboring our own personal growth and expanding our consciousness, we can create things that are eco-friendly for ourselves now and our family life, and sustain our health for long days of our life. I always say I'm a creative genius. I always digging up in stuff, ponging something, taking something old and making it new, finding different ways to put nutrition in my body. Like, I'll give you another example. As a young lady, I was taught to put all the herbs in the food and cook it out with the food so they could get the flavor of the herbs. Now I do the opposite. Let's say I'm making beans, and back then my mother would have taught me to wash the beans, put it in the pot, put your salt, and put all the seasonings in it and cover it down and let it cook. And that's the way I knew it all the days of my life. But I was just getting flavor rather than nutrition from the herbs, And one day, last week, I realized that, maybe if I cook out the beans with the salt first so that the beans will get the salt, because beans tend to taste a lot better with some salt in it. So I got some sea salt and I put it in the beans, and I allow the beans to burst or to get al dente, because I don't like beans too mushy. I like it al dente, and I allow it to reach to that stage, and just as it was at the right texture that I wanted it, I put in all the herbs on it, took off the stove and covered the lid and let that sit. And let me tell you something, those herbs, they didn't cook out, but they had a slight crunch to them, and I was still tasting the potency of the herb and still getting the effectiveness of the nutrition of the herb, and having the beans soak up all that goodness. So it was really, really, really good. It felt good having it now, you know. And now I cook all my meals, put in my herbs at the end, just to give it a little steam to let off all the oil. So when it's time to consume it, good day, I have the nutrition that I need for my body. And it is always taking from what we know and finding solutions to make it better for ourselves, and expansively, consciously grow into a direction that is purposeful, fulfilling, holistic for our well-being, that we expand our consciousness and grow. Now, I always preaching about my intuition, because I will tell you something. My intuition is the one thing that's changed everything. And it's always teaching me how to do things better for myself, and to share how to expand our consciousness in better ways for ourselves. And I can give you this example for your life, and maybe you might take it and do something greater for your life, because you're using it as a tool for your own personal growth. Yeah. And when you do things like that, you know, you become an example for others, and others become an example for others, and so it is going, you know, because a man could be building something that is eco-friendly and missing one thing, and he see it using a different space, and take that one thing and make something great with it. So I say to you today, beautiful souls, because knowledge is power, but wisdom is geniusity. So when you mix the two, imagine how super beautiful and great we will live consciously with taking personal growth and making it consciously, expansively. But you got to put in the work, and that's the best part of this. Taking consciousness and making the best out of it, because it's in exploring ourselves and creating so much of diversity. We can come together in communities and build ourselves collectively by putting things in place for our life without having anybody control our life. And that is what the true meaning of personal growth is now. We can share it amongst each other, in loving with each other, in together with each other harmoniously. Grand rising, Margot, grand rising. And make our life beautiful, sustainable, free, collectively being responsible, and standing in our integrity. Making life so meaningful that family life and community life becomes a bit sustainable for our everyday life. I am infinite abundance, exponentially healthy, wealthy, with the highest potentials for life infinitely. Please tap that like button, subscribe to my channel, share this with someone who needs to hear this. Yes, share this with someone who needs to hear this, because when we take personal growth and knowledge from our past life and apply wisdom to it, we expand so vast, so beautiful, so holistic, so sustainable, so resourceful, not just for ourselves, but for each and every one of humanity that will now have a sustainable lifestyle holistically for all eternity and generations to come, using our personal growth, knowledge and wisdom to expand ourselves consciously, tapping into our intuition. Once again, I am infinite abundance. Oh yeah. Exponentially healthy, wealthy, with the highest potentials for life infinitely. To have a beautiful, spectacular, wonderful, magical, amazing day. Yeah! Filled with beautiful manifestations from the heart, personal growth and expansion from our heart, intuitively, mindfully, in every way, showing up collectively in our divinity, sustaining our lives responsibly, eco-friendly, effortlessly in every way, because we choose to take personal growth and expand it out to the ethers, to bring those beautiful passions and manifestations into our life holistically in every way. I love all of you. High vibrational. Oh yeah. Beautiful manifestors of 5D New Earth. Bringing our expansiveness into reality and living it abundantly unto ourselves infinitely. I love you all.